Welcome to Hot Wired. In today's top story, Justice Department says former officer convicted in Breonna Taylor raid should get 1 day in jail. 3 years after the tragic death of Breonna Taylor, a landmark case involving the former Louisville police officer charged in her killing is reaching its sentencing phase. The Justice Department's recommendation, however, is sparking outrage and reigniting the debate over police accountability in America. This is the story of Brett Hankison and the fight for justice in the Breonna Taylor case. Brett Hankison, a former Louisville Metro Police Department officer, was found guilty last year of violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights. He fired shots into Taylor's apartment during a botched no-knock raid in March 2020, a raid that ultimately resulted in her death. Taylor's killing became a galvanizing moment in the Black Lives Matter movement, sparking nationwide protests against police brutality and sparking calls for police reform. The case, however, has taken a controversial turn. In a stunning development, the Department of Justice is recommending that Hankison serve only 1 day in jail, essentially time served, followed by 3 years of supervised release. This recommendation, filed just days before his sentencing, contradicts the gravity of the charges and the public outcry that followed Taylor's death. The DOJ argues that while Hankison participated in the raid, he didn't directly shoot Taylor and is not responsible for her death. They also highlight the fact that this is an unusual case, claiming they are unaware of a similar prosecution where an officer was charged under the Fourth Amendment for returning fire without causing injury. The filing itself has raised significant eyebrows. It was signed by Harmeet Dillon, a Trump appointee heading the Civil Rights Division, and a senior non-career official, not by the career staff typically handling such requests. This unusual chain of command fuels suspicions of political interference and raises concerns about the commitment to justice in the Biden administration. The DOJ also notes that Hankison was acquitted in a state trial and that the first federal trial ended in a mistrial, emphasizing the difficulties in securing a conviction. The raid itself was deeply flawed. Officers were executing a search warrant for Taylor's ex-boyfriend, who wasn't even present. Her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker III, fired a shot, believing intruders were breaking into their home. Officers returned fire, including Hankison, who allegedly fired indiscriminately through a patio door and a window, endangering the lives of residents in a neighboring apartment. This reckless disregard for safety is a central point of contention in the case. Hankison's defense argues for leniency, citing the intense media scrutiny and the potential for abuse due to his former status as a police officer. The Justice Department's lenient sentencing recommendation is met with deep criticism from activists and Taylor's family. They see it as a betrayal of justice and a continuation of systemic failures that shield police officers from accountability. The 1-day sentence is a stark contrast to the devastating loss of life and the lasting trauma inflicted on Taylor's family and the community. The outcome of this sentencing hearing will serve as a potent symbol of the ongoing struggle for justice and reform in the American policing system. The fight for accountability for Breonna Taylor's death